Okay, we're here with Dan from Dan's NRL Collectables. And tell us where we are, mate.
Thanks for having me, Steve, on Bunnies TV. We're at the Cumberland Oval Bar, which is it's the first Prime Minister of Australia, Edmund Barton's weekender, and this is where I've got my large rugby league collection.
And it is some sort of collection. We've got some unbelievable items here. Let me just focus in on this first, the Dally M trophy over there. You just have to move that folder out the way. And that's the very first Dally M trophy. Tell us the story behind that.
Yeah, Percy Knight. I knew Percy Knight. I interviewed him in one of my Rugby League's Heroes Yesterday's books, and we became friends. And the Dally M's in 1980, they had a whole series of trophies, and this was the club one. So one favourite player from each club, and Balmain being alphabetically the first. That was the first one issued, and we have the video footage to prove that.
Right. So I think 1980, wasn't it Rocky Laurie, the Rabbitoh, that won the overall one?
Correct. Yeah.
So Rocky would have got the South one.
Yeah, that would have been and he would have got the very last one as well, being the major one, where this was like one of the first ones that came out, and
So what I like about your collection is there's a million stories that we can tell about it. We're going to focus on a few of the South Sydney ones, but you were just telling me about this over here too, the squash cup.
Yeah, I love this one. I'm a squash player myself, and Wide World of Sports, back in 1979, 80 and 81, had a squash competition with all the rugby league players. Michael Sorodimi won it first, and then the great Arthur Beetson, and then Ian Schubert won the last one. And yeah, you can see it's a bit dented and banged up, and I had it repaired and polished, but it's missing there was a squash player and a rugby league player on top, and the handles are missing, like it fell off the back of a truck. But it's here now, being preserved. Yeah.
So things like this, you've built a collection. They're not for sale. They're just part of your collection, and then, or maybe one day if you decide to sell it all. But and then the other stuff is that your main part of your business is your trading cards that you do.
Yeah. Well, that's where my collection started off, was trading cards. I remember when I was a young kid, I collected the cards like all kids did, and then what really sparked my interest in the old stuff was there was another kid selling me he was knocking off his father's collection of cards like that every day, and I was giving him my lunch money. So I was getting like a Bob McCarthy 1977, and I had no idea like what years they were from at the time, because they were all just mixed. But I was just like really fascinated by all the different designs, and yeah, just fantastic. So, and then my collection grew from there, and then that, I ended up publishing books on footy cards to try to document all of them, because there's so many have come out over the years.
I like the story how you were losing weight because
that's right.
You're spending all your money on footy cards, and your mum was going, "What's going on with this?"
Yeah, I was losing weight because I'd rather get those footy cards, and that boy was actually going buying Winfield Smokes with the money that I gave him. So yeah, but I remember another time I was carrying the footy cards. I got beat up by a bunch of like 7 or 8 kids, and footy cards went everywhere. And John Bailey, who was I think he was might have been West coach at the time, or reserve coach, and he came running around to scare them off. But I was more worried about the footy cards being like falling into the mud. So.
Now, I've seen some of your stuff, and I think one of the best ones I was impressed with was your Immortals cards that are all signed by the Immortals, and a lot of those are passed away now, so that's a priceless collection you've got there.
Yeah, that's Select brought that set out, and that's like previously they'd done really good sets, but that set's just amazing. The Clive Churchill one was a signature that he'd already done because he'd already passed, but yeah, with a lot of those legends passing away, it's a very special set. Like Arthur Beetson and Reg Gasnier, it's just a very, very good set. And
then also the 1963 cards, they're like the jewels in the crown. If you can get a mint one of those, it's worth a few bucks.
Yeah, and they're very hard to find. 63 and 64, they came out with they had more cards, and they just had the Scandals logo, so they're very similar, but they're hard as well. But they're all one thing that it makes it attractive, I think, and expensive is the relevance. So a lot of those people who collect those cards, they might have been kids at that time. So then they're cashed up adults, and they look at those cards and they try to get them. So when they Yeah,
And it's been a real evolution through the years. It's like an historic thing. You can go through and see the old style ones, and then ones around my era in the 80s, and then I think you said after 94 they started doing sets or something. So
yeah,
it just kept evolving.
yeah. Well, '94 was when they came out. They brought out 3 sets, but it was really big. There was They had all these signature cards and everything like that. So it was really it was a really big game changer. Where before that they just had 1 set per year, sort of
Right.
thing, and they had the stickers before that. So once dynamic marketing came out, they became a lot like America with all these special cards. But and they look great. That's the thing. But I do love the old cards from '80s and before because they didn't use all these graphic designs. They just had the picture of the guy running, and you could see the crowd in the background, or old advertising, or mud.
Yep.
Like they weren't trying to hide, cover things up.
Are they still doing them today, cards?
They are, but I've stopped buying new cards since 2018. I just found it was just too many sets coming out. So
So where do you get them today? Do you still get them in the packs with the chewing gum and all that, or?
they don't have chewing gum. It's TLA does it. Select does AFL. So they're the 2 big companies. But there's no chewing gum anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. And a lot of people would have heard of you, but just for those that haven't, so you've got your website where you can buy cards. If you want a favourite footballer, you want to look up the old Steve Maven card, you can go and have a look there. And it might only be a couple of dollars for my one. So you've got a presence there.
Yeah, so my business, it's how many years? 20 years or something. And it's mostly started off with footy cards, and then all the programs. So I've got all big leagues, rugby league weeks, rugby league news, a lot of other things like posters and things like that. I've got a pretty big presence on Facebook in Dans NRL Collectables Facebook group.
How many followers you got there?
I'm not sure. I think is it nearly 50,000?
Wow.
48,000, I think.
Well, that's quite a big community, isn't it? And I know you post a lot on there, and lately you've been doing a few South ones. I don't know if it's because I was coming over, but it's quite interesting that. And I've got over 30,000 on Facebook as well, so it's good to have a community like that where you can share your stuff, and there's a lot of stories, and it's good for business too.
Well, it is, and get people involved as well, because there's a lot of people who are meeting each other, and they might have played reserve grade or 3rd grade or something back in the 80s and 70s. So it's good to have those guys in the group.
Because that's what footy cards are quite often, is a talking point. You put it up, and you put up, say, an old Les Davidson card, and next minute we're telling stories about when Bundy knocked someone on a nose in some game or whatever,
Yeah. Oh, they footy cards. They just bring back memories. That's a key thing for me.
Yep.
Yes, from when you're growing up. So these are cards that I've made myself for. Usually when we've had Dan's retro trivia nights or things like that. There's one of Vossi and myself when we did the Antiques Roadshow on the Fan.
Cool.
In 2014, they had a competition for the biggest fan for each team, and my son Kurt he won the Parramatta one as being the biggest fan for Parramatta Eels. Had nothing to do with my connection with the owner of the card company as being friends. But one thing, he really wanted Jared Hayne, and then Jared Hayne took off to the United States, so he had to pick someone else, and he got Hopewadi.
Nice. And he's in the army now.
He's in the army. He's an officer.
How's that going?
Yeah, he's enjoying it. He was just involved in Talaman Sabre. Yeah, no, he's really enjoying it. He's grown up. Very special time for Rabbitohs fans with the 2014 NRL Grand Final.
Yep.
Yeah, had some great players then, like Greg Inglis, and there's a wonderful set that came out. They had 2 sets, like a green set and a red set to match the Rabbitohs colours. This set came out with the South Sydney Rabbitohs and Real Insurance. Yep. And the idea was at every home game, there's, I think, 2 or 3 cards were handed out. And you could collect the whole set except for Eric Sims there, who's one of the legends.
Yep. And
to get the Eric Sims card, you had to sign up with Real Insurance. So it was a bit of goes to show there weren't many of those cards around.
So is that how you got it? Are you a Real Insurance customer?
No, I just buy collections off people.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, in 2002, South Sydney were back in the comp, and they brought in these set of oversized cards with an arrive alive message for safe driving, MMA.
They are cool, aren't they?
Yeah,
Big.
really cool. There's Paul Stringer there, and it was good to have South Sydney back in the comp.
It was indeed.
Yeah,
It was indeed, yeah. The Mighty Rabbits. That's a famous year.
yeah, 100%.
And I think they got the wooden spoon, but that was because we didn't have any players because everyone else had took them.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a cool card because I don't even ever remember seeing that photo.
Yeah,
The little master.
yeah,
So that's a 1995.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dynamic marketing.
dynamic marketing. So most of these are available on your website.
Yeah, correct. I've got all of these cards on my website. This, yeah, it is my collection, but I do have lots and lots of cards in the website. Yeah, there's Steve Maven and Ian Roberts signed, and some of the other guys. They're pretty much all these guys have been in my books, so I've got them signed.
Yeah. Heroes of yesterday.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I remember 1981 cards from when I was really little, and really first time I saw footy cards was around this time, and it's just like amazing for me to be able to meet a lot of these guys who collected footy cards when I was in grade 1 or kindergarten, and and then ended up getting the cards signed, as you can see there, and got to know a lot of the guys as well. So like John Doherty, Austin Filipana, and those guys.
And 2KY Radio Sport. That's cool.
There was a big gap in footy cards from 1970. There were no footy cards from 71 to 73. And then 1974 was when footy cards came back. And that was the first quite large set. And then after that, they made large sets. So 115 cards in the 74 set. One of the hardest sets to collect. And they're good old action photos. And what I really love about it, there's these 74, 75, those sort of years. They had shots of them in the change rooms, and just a bit unusual sort of footy cards, but yeah, like I just think they're terrific. Look at the colours, and they're really, really cool. Well, I like the obscure sort of cards as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, like these 1968 Scanlons, 69, 70 Scanlons are really classic designs. I love this. This is the Horseshoe series, and it's got some great Rabbitohs names there, like Eric Sims and Jimmy Lyle, Bobby McCarthy.
Yeah.
And they were just like action photos. Is that at Redfern there and on a training day?
Yep. There he is, great Eric Sims.
I love the jerseys and everything too back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1970 Scanlons. The yellow background is really a rare set. Very hard to find a full set, especially in mint condition like these are. And some it was a bit of a larger set than previously as well. And just some terrific names there. You can see like Eric Sims and Dennis Pittard, Bobby Moses, Alan Scott, Johnny Peard there as well for Roosters. Yeah, I like these obscure cards. There's a lot of things that there's hardly any around. Like there might be one or two sets out there that, the more rare club issued cards or things like that. So it's a bit of an addiction, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it for a long time.
Oh, I have, and I love it. And and that's why I put the book together of all the footy cards, and then don't try to keep up to date with modern ones, because I think there's so much. The game is all about the history and the colours and the characters of the game. So,
And how are the books going, the 3 books?
book 1 sold out completely. Book 2 and book 3 I've still got going, and happy to sell them to anyone. So I also love these sort of postcards. And,
Right.
They generally came out from touring teams, or if there was New South Wales playing or something like this. So this one here is when the American All-Stars came out in 1953. And, I rate this as highly as some of those rare Scanlons cards, because it's just terrific, and it's a really interesting part of rugby league history is when the Americans came out and wearing the long strides there compared to the shorts of the Aussies.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like the old rare and unusual programs as well. Here's just a couple that I have, and I've got a Rothman's medal. I think it was 1976, and it's signed. And France versus Monaro, and in there's a it's signed, and there's the dinner menu as well. And I think it was like Australian dishes.
Wow.
Made to sound French. And this one, I really like this one. It's during World War II, US Navy and US Army played a game of rugby league at the Sydney Cricket Ground, I think. And yeah, it has all the team lineups of the Americans who played, and these sort of programs I really like as well, because they're really rare, and they were only issued at those games. And then for the chance for someone to take care of it at the game and then get it home and then have it, what are we talking, 80 something years later
Amazing.
in that condition, like, I think it's just amazing. So yeah, I think something like this is just, it's part of rugby league history and should be maintained. And, you know, well, here it is in the museum, Dan's NRL Museum. So like this one here is like a third grade playoff between South Sydney and the Western Suburbs Magpies, and you can see some of the players there.
Yeah, Danny Loftus,
Yeah.
Craig Mullins, Mark Ellison, Michael Andrews. There you go, eh? Ricky Montgomery.
And they wouldn't have loaded the sides in those days, would they?
Joe Squadrito.
Oh, there's Brett Clark, Western Suburbs.
Yeah, there's a few. Mick Neal.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So everywhere you look, there's something. So I've just spotted the South flag up the top there and up south.
That's actually a poster, not because you can get uncut sheets, but this is actually rarer. It's a 1982 poster of that's all the cards from the whole set.
Right. Oh yeah. So there's South through the middle. So you got
But I got it framed. I thought that's something really cool and talking point. Yeah, that's Tom Cooper was the ball boy for Western Suburbs. His family was involved with the club, and he came to one of my book launches actually, and he donated me his shirt. So that shirt is what he's wearing in. That was in
that picture.
Yeah, that was the pin-up from Big League. We was running out with Tommy, and he gave me that shirt as a gift, and so I thought, well, I'm going to frame it. So
that is very cool.
Yeah, I think that's special. That's a really cool thing, and
it is.
Tom Cooper's a bit bigger now. He's a fireman. He's a big man.
Yeah. The team just standing there in a big row.
Yeah,
you don't see that very often, do you, anymore?
No.
Like that was a thing they used to do.
Oh, it's Larry Corriwell, but he wanted to keep it quiet. But that's his. I think that's 1982 Balmain Tigers jersey from Larry Corriwell.
Cool. Well, we haven't kept it quiet now. You just told me, but
I think it's okay.
It's okay now.
Parramatta 1986 Premiership Blazer. So that was only issued to players and some of the officials of the club.
Gee.
So that's something you can't buy. That's
look at that. That is quite rare. That grand final. That was the last game of Mick Cronin and Ray Price.
Yeah, that's right,
wasn't it? Yeah.
So this is when Cumberland Oval was burnt down in 1981. This sign remained intact. Yeah, these Hines rugby league posters came out. They're really, really hard to find a full collection, and I just love the design and the design because it's so simple, and the guys just there getting a training.
Wow.
So these ones, I believe, you had to send in coupons from Heinz, like sauce or soups, and then send them in, and then you could get 2 posters.
Unreal.
And
you eat soup.
Yeah. So you'd have to have a lot of soup or tomato.
Tomato sauce.
Yeah. And some of these other ones, like, there's a Scanlons. So there's a Scanlons poster from Eric Sims. They're all really rare.
And Bobby Fulton, the immortal.
Bobby Fulton. And then I love these ones. I've recently added these to the collection as well. And there's a Parramatta, Penrith. Like these ones here I'd never seen before personally, and now I have them in my collection, and I really love the designs. Like, I think they're just fantastic.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Like I was just saying, there's so many different types of bunnies, and look at that one, is like a real rabbit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how cool is that? So these are, South Sydney Rabbitohs ones.
Yeah, the Rabbitoh, yeah.
Yeah. But these programs, 1964. There's action photos in here as well. So I've got a couple of Clive Churchill on these yearbooks. So before the internet, kids, we had yearbooks, E.E. Christensen's, and it had all the stats from the year. So they were terrific. Like you can see there, 1971 team. Like, that's just a great picture. I love it. So it's just a great big coloured poster of the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Look at that. This guy's got Balmain Tiger socks on, but it doesn't matter. You seen those ones before?
No, I haven't seen
Haven't
that.
you?
No.
They're called fold out Channel 9 club posters. There's one for every team, but
Amazing.
yeah,
The great Georgie Piggins is sitting in the front row.
yeah. They had a tough team, didn't they? There's Terry Fay,
Yeah,
Bernie Lothar.
Redfern Express, Paul Sate.
Yeah,
That is
they were
a
tough all the way, weren't they? Like 60s, 70s, and 80s, they were tough as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. My word, they were. Yeah.
something about Redfern.
Lurch up the back.
Yeah.
A great man. John
Yeah.
O'Neill. Rest in peace.
Oh, there's Bill Annabelle. He's friends with him as well. He's a good guy.
That is a beauty. And that's Gary Stevens, the late Gary Stevens in the middle there,
yeah.
holding the ball.
Yeah. He's got no shoes on.
That's a beauty, mate.